So hey everyone, today's topic is nitrogen cycle. So this is a flow chart of the entire nitrogen cycle in biogeochemical cycling, in which the conversion of nitrogen into different forms such as ammonia, nitrite, nitrate is shown through the different processes that it undergoes in the cycle. We'll study the details of this nitrogen cycle in this video. So as we know that nitrogen is a constituent of amino acids, nucleic acids and amino sugars as well as their polymers, but since it is unavailable, that's why the biogeochemical cycling of nitrogen is dependent upon the activities of microorganisms. Generally, nitrogen fixation जो होता है, it occurs in response to low and limited concentration of ammonia. A few species that carry out nitrogen fixation are Chromatium, Rhodopseudomonas, Rhodospirillum, Rhodomicrobium, Chlorobium, Azospirillum, Klebsiella, Clostridium, Bacillus, Thiobacillus, and Desulfotomaculum. These are the free-living nitrogen-fixing bacteria in the soil. It is of ecological importance. About 78% of Earth's atmosphere contains molecular nitrogen, but this 78% cannot be utilized by the plants and animals. So that's why we depend on microorganisms for the source of nitrogen for growth. A lot of transformations are undergone by nitrogen, which include organic, inorganic and volatile forms. The basic flow chart in which the nitrogen undergoes transformation in this cycle is given in this flow chart, which is basically from nitrogen in atmosphere, the free-living microorganisms convert it into organic compounds, which are then made available to the plants for growth. And further, they are present in plant tissues in the form of proteins and nucleotides, which are then used by animals, and then they are converted into various compounds within the animals. When the plants and animals die, these are decayed by microorganisms using enzymes and various other methods, which are then converted into organic nitrogen, which is released as ammonia, and this is then oxidized into nitrate by the microorganisms, and finally the gaseous nitrogen escapes to the atmosphere, and the nitrogen cycle is completed and goes on and on in a similar manner. A lot of reactions that are involved in nitrogen fixation, the major reactions are as follows. Protein and their waste products undergo microbial decomposition to form amino acids. Amino acids undergo microbial aminification to form ammonia, which then further the ammonium ions then further form nitrite ions by nitrosomonas, which is a microorganism. Nitrite ions form nitrate ion by the action of nitrobacter, and nitrate ions form nitrogen through Pseudomonas, which undergoes nitrogen fixation to form finally ammonia again. So the major steps involved in the nitrogen cycle are two major steps, which is number one is the nitrogen mineralization, which consists of three sub-steps, which are ammonification, nitrification and denitrification, and the second major step of nitrogen cycle is the nitrogen immobilization. So first, about nitrogen mineralization. Nitrogen mineralization basically involves the conversion of organic nitrogen into a mobile or inorganic state, and it involves ammonification, nitrification and denitrification. In ammonification, the organic nitrogen is converted into ammonia, and the liberation of ammonia occurs through the degradation of proteins, nucleic acids by other microorganisms, and it occurs under aerobic conditions, that is in the presence of oxygen. So the process of ammonification is that hydrolysis of proteins and nucleic acids and other nitrogenous compounds occur to form amino acids through proteolysis, and these are deaminated to form ammonia. Putrefaction is the process of anaerobic decomposition of proteins. Second step in nitrogen mineralization is that of nitrification. In this, biological oxidation of ammonium salts happens into nitrite, and further this nitrite is converted into nitrate. So biological oxidation basically means through the action of microorganisms. The two steps involved in nitrification are oxidation of ammonia to nitrite, which is brought about by chemoautotrophic bacteria. Examples are Nitrosomonas, Nitrosococcus, Nitrospira and Nitrosovibrio. The second one is the further oxidation of nitrite into nitrate, which is carried out by Nitrobacter, Aspergillus, Penicillium and Nitrospina. So the factors that affect the growth of nitrifying bacteria in soil are as follows: the levels of ammonia and nitrite ions, aeration, moisture, temperature, pH, and organic matter. The third step of nitrogen mineralization is that of denitrification, in which the nitrates and nitrites are converted into molecular nitrogen by the process of denitrification. So it leads to the loss of nitrogen from soil and depletes the soil from nitrogen. Volatilization is basically the escape of molecular nitrogen into atmosphere. This occurs mostly in waterlogged anaerobic soil, where there is lack of oxygen with high organic matter content. The bacterial genera causing denitrification include Thiobacillus denitrificans, Bacillus, Nitrococcus, and Achromobacter. The second major step is nitrogen immobilization, in which is basically the process of microbial assimilation of inorganic nitrogen, and mineralization of organic nitrogen and microbial assimilation of inorganic ions proceed simultaneously. These two things basically happen simultaneously, hand in hand. So that's all for now. Hope it helped. Thank you.